some days that I feel very better. Okay, let's start. And of course, during my speech, I would like to give you some highlights. The first highlight is wishes versus fact. When I was graduating from the secondary school, my friend, my family and myself discussed what will be my profession, what I'm going to do in the future. I wanted to be a military medical doctor. My family also said that, yeah, that's a good choice. During that time, unfortunately, we had some political problems in Turkey, and it wasn't easy to get a good education and training in the high school. But to be a military doctor, I should get a good education background. We discussed and we decided that, okay, I should go to military high school because the military high school was the best place to get the education at that time. So I got the exam and I joined Kolari Military High School. I studied hard and I got my language there. And when I came to my fourth year, this is basically university entry exam will take place after the fourth year. I have realized that I can only prefer military medical academy. I cannot write the others universities for being a medical doctor. And also, second information was only 41 military students, military cadets can go to the military medical academy. So it was a little bit, I surprised, but I continued to my study. You know what happens? After the exam, we received the results. Unfortunately, I was not in the first 41 military students. I was very close to that one, but I didn't make it. I had two decision alternatives. In all decision problems, my friend, there are four important points. One, your objectives and values. Second, decisions to make. In my case, I can stay in the military, I can continue to Turkish Military Academy and become an officer. The second alternative is leave the military and spend a year in outside and prepare and get the exam again and then become a doctor. Of course, all decisions include some uncertainties in it. For the first one, going to the academy, I did not know that I will like it or not to become an officer. If I go out and stay 1 year, this is also something like what happens for the next year. Maybe I'm not going to make it again. So I will see the same story. And fourth issue is in a decision problem, basically the consequences. Of course, the first one being that's going to be still a good profession in Turkey, and there will be no cost to me. But if I prefer the first one, the second one, to be a doctor, yes, I will stay and I can be a doctor in the next year. But I learned that my father has to pay for 4 years back to the government. My father was an artillery officer. And the 4 years is basically, it's a big financial burden on the shoulder of an officer at that time. So based on this information, I changed my mind, and then I decided to go to the Turkish Military Academy. So sometimes in your life, your wishes cannot match to your facts. So what we need to do, that is our second highlight, we should plan, replan and update. So update is always necessary, my friend. because everything is changed. Some of them are controllable, some of them you're not going to get control, but you have to update your plan. So my plan is now being an officer. Okay, so I decided to be an artillery officer because artillery officer has a big probability to being a promotion as a general at that time. So I was going to get my language better way because I would like to be a foreign officer. I would like to go and work some countries as a military officer, then becoming a general. And of course, my fundamental objective is become the chief of general staff. So what I did, basically, my friend, I finished the Turkish Military Academy with honor. So it was a good start for the profession. And basically during that time, I just improved my English a little bit more, and I was waiting some language exam because I would like to get a good note and do something in that area. One day, when I was in Poland because I became an artillery officer, I got a message that I was selected for a master program in the United States. It was basically on operations research. When I first heard that, oh, it includes operations, so I would like to be a general, so I should be inside the operation. So what happens, this is basically made me very happy, and I decided to go there because it's going to be some benefit to me in my career. So the next highlight is you should be open to change, my friend. And also you should be curious. When I decided to go to US for my master's degree, do you know that it was my first air transportation? I didn't get any aircraft before. I didn't go to any foreign country either. So first visit to US, it is 24 hours. It is a 3-leg flight. That means I'm going to change my flight 3 times, change the aircraft 3 times. So do you know what happened? I missed all. That's not because of myself. That's because of some of them are basically because of the airlines company. And we had a Pan Am Airlines at that time. So I missed the flight and I just came to San Francisco at 10 p.m. My flight to Monterey, California is next morning, 8 o'clock. I tried to find out some numbers to reach the airlines because I cannot spend all my night in the airport. I phoned them, I found some representative, and they took me to the hotel for the night. I stayed in a hotel, and then they bring back me to airport in the morning, and then I fly to Monterey, California. It is an hour flight, but I don't know area, I don't know all the other places around. So when I went there, the first thing that I surprised, I was thinking that it is directly linked with delivery, but unfortunately it is directly linked with science. So I learned why I was selected for here, because I was graduated from the mapping engineering or geomatic department of the Turkish Military Academy. I had already 8 or 9 mathematical courses, and my grade was all of them has A, and I had an English, so they preferred me for that purposes because the operations research is basically including a lot of maths and a lot of probability statistics and a lot of mathematical activities, modeling activities inside. So when I went there, I have seen that first where I will live, and I found a place in one of the bachelor officers' quarter in one ministry that is close to the school, but it is 10 miles. How can I go from school to home? Oh, I need a car. Oh, how come a first lieutenant can buy a car, even in the United States? It was a very, I was very surprised, and what I can do, it was a very hopeless case. But I have learned that some of my friends who were there told me that, okay, don't worry. Because I have only $500 on my pocket. And on Monday, I was supposed to get $1,200 from US government as a monthly payment. So, can I buy a car? Somebody told me, yes, you can. We visited around, and I found a Volkswagen Dasher. Year is 1989. The car's year is 1980. Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was okay. So I bought the car, but nobody asked me, do you have a driver license? Even I did not have a driver license. So I took the exam, I take my driver license, and then I started to leave. The first day in the school, it was a computer lecture. And one of the greatest faculty members, Professor Gordon Bradley, was teaching the Fortran 77 class. And I was in the lab. He requested to turn the computer on. Everybody turned it on, except myself. He warned me second time. I didn't open again. He came to me and he asked why I did not open. My answer was very comic. I did not know how to operate. He was very surprised because he mentioned that he has already went through all my classes taken in the Turkish Military Academy. Fortran 4 is there. He told me that, how come you passed the Fortran 4 without seeing any computer? That is true. I didn't see any computer. We were punching the cards and sending the computer center. They were looking, they said, okay, you did good or you did not good. So that was only the feedback from the computer center. And I mentioned that, yes, I didn't see, but if you would like to get some code to estimate, let's say, the average of this classes, courses, I can develop a Fortran 4 code for you right now on the paper. He was very surprised and he became very helpful to me. And within the 1 month, I closed all the gaps. One thing that I forgot is basically, up to that point, I was living in the military school. So the foods are ready and the bags are ready. After I graduated in the Turkish Artillery School, I was a second lieutenant, but my family was there and I was being there. So this was the first time I started to run a business at home. To prepare some lunch and to prepare dinner and also clean the home and everything else all together. See how much changes in my life. But what you need to do, you should develop yourself. I graduated there and I was appointed to where? Turkish General Staff Headquarters. Can you imagine that? My fundamental objective is basically being a chief of general staff. I was there. Unfortunately, with a rank of first lieutenant. There are a lot of roads to go. In here, I learned how to think big, my friend. I was there because of my capabilities, and they just gave me immediately a project that I need to estimate the exact number of main battle pen. It was a big burden on my shoulder because as a first lieutenant, I didn't see the pen before. I was an artillery officer, but I tried to set up a model and calculate how much we needed. If I did something wrong, what the Turkish armed forces will do in a war environment, that is going to burden a lot of, load a lot of burden to your shoulders. Then, Basically, we get some information in naval postgraduate school about how science can be used in the defense activities. And also, I have some commanders who came to naval postgraduate school before and came back to the Turkish General Staff headquarters. And we came together and we said that, okay, we have to do something about it. And we initially set up our Scientific Decision Support Center of the Turkish General Staff headquarters. Especially, it's a short-range plan, medium-range plan, and a long-term plan. So in this plan, basically, we send some people to the US and we educate and train them and take them back to our office, and we started to do some projects all together. At the same time, we thought that, okay, we need some modeling and simulation activities here, so we need some war games. So Turkish Armed Forces must have a war game center, and we do a feasibility study. This feasibility study is completed, and then right now in Istanbul, there's a huge war gaming center for the Turkish Armed Forces. And also when it came, we thought that, okay, there are some courses needed in the Turkish Military Academy. It's systems design and optimization and system simulation course. Both courses we offered, and this course will be in the part of the curriculum, and we started to teach in this Turkish Military Academy these courses. So starting from 1992 until 2016, I teach several courses in the Turkish Military Academy: system simulation, modeling, decision support, and decision making, and systems engineering. And after I started work with the science, that is really important because you should be objective, my friend, every time. So our founder, the great leader, Gazi Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, mentioned that the most genuine guide in life is science. So when we work in the Turkish General Staff headquarters, we always keep this word in front of our eyes. Let me give an example. We had a project and we were trying to find out which type of the rifle is better for the infantry. There is a 556 caliber and 762 caliber. And land forces wanted to change their rifle, but we knew that when they are coming to the enthusiasts, when they are looking and do the analysis, we saw what is the reason for change. They said that, okay, 556 is like 762. So what does it mean? Okay, the difference about the weight will give to carry additional ammunition. So that could be one benefit. What about the other? The other is going to be the concept changes. So the concept changes, if they are going to hit somebody else with 556, the other guy will carry it back. So that means two people will be out of the battle area. So that could be a save for us. When we consider our environment, it is not a possible concept. And the third issue was the accuracy. They said that, okay, 762 was not accurate. So the first two reasons we did not fail, but when they say the accuracy, we said that, okay, we have to do, and we have to use science here. And we selected national shooting team, my friend. And we take them and we design an experiment. And this experiment, we have we have 762 millimeters rifles, and we selected three types of ammunition. One ammunition, NATO, Norwich NATO standard ammunition. We use that one. One ammunition is coming from the Finland, which we call it the Latvia at that time. And the other ammunition is basically the ammunition that we produces in Turkish Machine and Defense Industry Corporation in Turkey. You know what the results are. The NATO, Norwich ammunition, they are all inside the circle of the 3 centimeter diameter. That is basically standard. That was okay. The Finland one, the Latvia, is basically inside the 2 centimeter. That is more accurate. And the Turkish one, unfortunately, within the diameter over 10 centimeters, which is out of standard. So what is the reason for that? Science forces you to go and to find out what the root cause is, or if you have more than one causes, and you should find what the root causes are. So when you look at that, what is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? And we finally look at, we said that we should look at the gunpowder. Is there any difference between the gunpowder within this emanation, among this emanation? And we have seen that the Norwich and Finland one is a spherical. Ours is cylindrical. So that was the reason, because of the homogeneity of the fire. And the fire and the boasting is basically, in the spherical one, it is a homogeneously burned, and the other one is not homogeneously burned, and this is made the deviation. We offered this result to the Turkish Machine and Defense Industry Corporation, and they changed the factory. So that shows always we should keep the science. Okay. We working with different nations and different cultures. That is also very critical in your life, my friend. During this period, I was selected by Canada for the Canadian Defense Fellowship Program. So I went to Ottawa and I spent a year in Ministry of Defense. I did some manpower analysis, modeling and simulation activities there. I learned a lot of things. The first thing is to learn how to live in a cold environment. So in Turkey, you get 10 and 15 degrees, but if you're in Ottawa, it's 55 and 60 degrees, especially with the help of the wind. What I learned, one day I was working and we had an earthquake drill. We know that we get this drill. I was working in the 16th floor, my friend. And finally, I suddenly, a security officer appeared. He told me that I should go down. I said, why? He said, because there's an earthquake there. When we go down, I have seen that nobody was there. Everybody left, except myself. Because in Turkey, when we know that it is a fail, nobody cares. But they are caring. Everybody left. So I learned that, okay, we should take some important issues into account. And another issue is elastic working hours. They told us, okay, you can come between 7 and 9, work 8.5 hours, and then leave. And nobody is following you, but that is the rule. It was the first time, it is 1993. I just went to work at 7 o'clock, and 3:30 p.m. I was leaving. So it gave me another chance to see the culture. And also, this is basically creating some usable use of the area, environment, and every places in the headquarters. And the different culture, even in the same country, and in Ottawa, probably some of you maybe know, Ottawa is cut by a river. The right-hand side belongs to French Canadians. The left-hand side, the English Canadians. They are totally different. If you are on the English side, and most of the people goes to bed at 9 o'clock, and all the lights off. If you are going to other side, which we call it the hall, and the French Canadians are living there, and they are full of drinks and full of entertainment, and they are going to bed at 1 o'clock a.m. in the morning. So I learned that, okay, both are working in the same place, and nothing is changed, but they are living their culture in a different place. And also, I got a lot of techniques in terms of modeling and simulation and human resource management. So when I came back to Turkey, again, to the same place, we said that, okay, we need a modeling and simulation center. And we established Turkish Modeling and Simulation Center in Middle East Technical University. This center is still in there. And we just select 3 projects, one for land forces, one for Navy, one for the Air Forces, and we forced them to develop this project. Project I completed within the 2 years. We said that, okay, because when we need some requirements and need analysis, we need a combined and joint environment. We said that if we get this model, we bring them together and we work it. But we saw that we cannot make it. This was another important issue I learned. Why? Because at the beginning, we are not going to get the same infrastructure. In my model, somebody modeled a plane with 3 parameters. In the second one, with 10 parameters. In the third one, 5 parameters. When I bring them, nobody understood from each other. So that we have learned that, okay, we need to develop a model, which is a baseline representation of the joint environment, and make it. And from now on, when some model is needed in this area, we provided this material to these people to develop their models. Okay, sometimes, my friend, you need to make analysis at the crossroads. What do I mean? If you look at that, you know how I started my journey. What is my fundamental objective? Is being a chief of general staff. Right now, I am basically working all science issues. I was thinking that both can go together. But my father told me that, okay, you cannot go together. So if you have to, I have to select one of them. If I go to the military side, I'm going to leave this one and I will go that road. Or if I'm going to go to the science, I'm going to close this road and I will go to the university and get my PhD. And my father also added that, okay, you should go to the university because I know you like it more. And he proposed me all the materials, all the reports I needed to fill to get part of a program in Gazi University in Industrial Engineering, and I started the PhD and finished. Okay, so after that, my work changed more, but right now, basically, I like operations research a lot, and this is the area that I'm going to do myself. And after I got my PhD degrees, and I started to follow the monitor and evaluate the NATO activities, because my branch was responsible to monitoring and evaluating the NATO activities here. And I have seen that the Turkish people only goes and come, go that place and come back, and no other research and nothing else. Only they are going. It's something like a touristic journey. So we said that why we are not participating in any research. That was my first question. And I learned that there is no any problem for that. And I came back to Turkey and I looked around and I found Mrs. Gülay Barbarosoglu from Boğaziçi University. She's a very good professor in industrial engineering. And we talked her, and we proposed a topic to NATO. Helicopter mission planning in a disaster relief and military operation. Enough nation showed interest, we set up the group. We finished the research. We not only developed a theoretical material, but also we developed a model. And this was the only research area in the NATO systems analysis panel developed the model at the same time. After that, I said that, okay, I should be a team leader in a research group. I got a lot of information about the human resource management, and what I offered, we should develop a NATO human resource management model. And I set up a research group, and countries, France, Germany, they just joined. And then we started our research and we completed the model. And then I organized the symposium and everything else. And I was basically a Turkish panel member in the systems analysis and studies panel starting from 2002 until today. I'm still keeping this job on my shoulders. But right now, I'm taking my students there. Two of my students right now in the research task group leader. They are, one is 28 years old, the other one is 22 years old. They are leading the NATO research. Because we just worked here as a research topic about the gamification, and we set up a group gamification of cyber defense and resilience, and we finished that one. And NATO told us, okay, take this money and please try to develop multi-domain war gaming for us. Right now, one of my students, who is Levent Berke Chapler, is working in this issue and he's chairing this group. And Chinada Sain is basically another student, and she is working, trying to find out how to get all these young people to NATO activities. How you can be a part of the NATO, how you can work in the defense organizations in NATO. What are the problems? So we do some research, and whenever we get all the research completed, and we're going to offer to NATO, and we're going to get rid of all those. Okay, my friends. One more highlight is basically when you are a part of academia, don't be a part of academia only, okay? Because industry is here. If you are not bringing your information and knowledge with the industry, nothing happens. So because of that reason, I am still in Altan University in the Civil Aviation School. I work there, but I'm still in the industry right now. I do some defense projects. I spent one day in Havelsan Corporation and developed some models there. If I cut my ties with here, probably I will lose a lot. And finally, my friend, before I stop my talk, you are seeing that you are getting older. When you are getting older, sometimes people are saying that, okay, you are going to be the manager. And at the last part of my speech, I would like to talk to you about how a good manager would be, okay? Because it's very critical. And I have seen the managers are far away from their employees. My recommendation, you should stay close to your employees. Otherwise, you cannot feel like them. You cannot empathize. You should be fair, and you should be, of course, equal for each of them. Otherwise, if they feel that you're not equal and you're not fair, and probably none of them will rely on you. So that is a critical issue. And if you would like to solve the problem, my friend, my recommendation, you should listen more. Because listening is an important function than speaking. If you don't listen, you cannot understand what your friends and what your opponents are trying to say to you. And finally, there are two things that is very, very important. And in academia environment, industry environment, I have seen also in the state part, there are two critical issues. People are afraid of giving the decision. Don't be afraid to decide. Unless you should prepare a decision making by yourself. Don't forget your objectives and values. Don't forget decisions to make. Uncertain events and consequences. If you follow those, you cannot make something wrong, my friend. And if you do that way, please don't be afraid to decide. Take responsibility. That is really critical. And if you don't take the initiative, somebody will take, for sure. I would like to thank for all your patience. Thank you very much for listening.
for the